Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Just driving today, running errands after a day of work. Probably really bumping in the camera. We are preparing for a snowstorm here. We're supposed to be getting 9 to 12 inches of snow. So the area is kind of getting ready. It's February and we've had so much snow this year, and there doesn't seem to be an end in sight with it. I live on a very busy road. Trying to I need to get a mount for this. To get out without jostling the camera around. Camera mount. Definitely need a camera mount. Probably be better off holding the camera than having it sit on the dash. I live in upstate New York, so it's definitely very cold and snowy here. We're used to the snow, but still people feel that when a snowstorm comes, it's going to be the end of the world. So they go to the grocery store and buy a bunch of stuff that they probably won't need in the 3 hours that it's going to take for the snow plows to clear the roads out. Probably should put a blinker on. I'm on my way to pick up my son from hanging out with his friends. He's 16, so he can go and do this hanging out without supervision for the most part, as long as he's in a safe area and has plans with good people. I don't mind him hanging out. Most likely when I go and pick him up, he's not going to want to be on camera. We live in a very tourist type area, mostly during the summer. There's a big history of horse racing in the area, and also the natural springs that are in the area were known a long time ago for healing properties. Mostly though, the locals aren't a huge fan of the water sources that come from these springs. It tastes bad, it smells bad. They all are different though. I know there was one over by the dog park that I take all of my puppies to, and it comes out, they describe it as effervescent water, so it's like carbonated almost, which is very strange to me that it comes out of a spring already carbonated, but it's like yellowish in color and it smells like sulfur, and my dogs wouldn't even drink it. So we always bring water everywhere we go with us, even though there's plenty of sources of water to attain for the dogs when we're out. We always have to bring water from home because they won't drink anything else. They're spoiled. But right now there's blue sky out. Doesn't really look like it's gonna snow, but we have a bunch of warnings in effect. I think I already said 9 to 12 inches, which depending on the snow could or could not be bad. If it's light and fluffy, it's nothing to really worry about. I drive a big 4-wheel drive Jeep, so this doesn't bother me at all. I can drive up and over the snow with no issues. But a lot of people, and even when I used to have cars, it was not fun. You would get stuck a lot. Even just driving on the roadways, you would get stuck, which is embarrassing if you're like at an intersection and can't move out of the way. I'm not sure how many of you are watching from warm areas, or if you're from New York as well and understand my pain every swear someday I'm actually going to move somewhere nice. I'm not sure where though. So all the warm areas seem to have downfalls. Like Florida has hurricanes that destroy houses and sharks in the water. And then California has all the wildfires and the mudslides and the earthquakes. So even though this area is snowy and cold for the most part, there's not a lot of bad like natural disaster type things here. But the cold still sucks. It's 28 degrees here right now, which isn't bad. It's actually that warm because it's gonna snow. When it gets too cold, then it doesn't snow because the air is too dry. So yeah, that's my day. Thankfully I have the next 2 days off, so I don't even have to worry about it. If there is a big snowstorm, I can sit at home and not worry about driving in it or getting stuck in it or having to be to work on time. Or I do have a doctor's appointment tomorrow though, but I think it's going to be during the midst of it, so it'll probably get canceled just because the doctor's offices tend to cancel things like that on snowy days like that. And if I was a doctor, I'd probably cancel too. People are looking at me funny because I'm talking into a camera. It's alright. I'm sitting at an intersection right now. It's getting to be a very busy time of the day. It's like rush hour time, so everybody sits at the traffic lights for a long time. But yeah, we live in a very touristy town, so there's a lot of really cool architecture in the area. It's a very old city. Not really a city. I wouldn't consider it a city. It's just like a bigger town. Considering where I grew up in the middle of nowhere, it's a city to me. But it is expanding rapidly, so the population is going up. The graduating class for the school district that my son is in, I think is at like 600 right now, which is absolutely ridiculous to me. My graduating class, I believe, was 148 people, which for us was a really big year, but that included all of our outlying towns. And there was probably like 4 or 5 outlying towns that went to this school district, and they were bused in quite a ways away actually. So to have a graduating class of 600 when my entire high school only had maybe 400 students for the entire 4 classes is crazy to me. The sun is setting. Buildings are in my way. I'm gonna have to stop filming very soon because the police station is up here, and I don't know if there's a law against filming and driving, but it's probably almost as dangerous as cell phone use and driving. I really need to get a car mount. I apologize for all the bumpiness. And we missed the pretty sunset. Running errands. My son had to run in and get new swim shorts for swimming because he lost his with a week left in swimming. He lost his swim shorts and now has to buy another pair. Teenagers, I'm telling you. So I'm sitting in the car. Just people watching in the parking lot, which tends to be fascinating and confusing all at the same time. But you can totally see kind of the sunset through the clouds here. I lost it earlier. Let's see. Can we see that? It's really pretty. This parking lot has some nice sunsets. I work in this area, so I see it a lot. How about we zoom out? Zoom out, zoom out. I don't need that big of a close-up. So yeah, he's in the sporting goods store buying his swim shorts. Can we just talk about the elephant in the room with the Dave Matthews Band that totally happened on like the 2 days before Super Bowl Sunday, so Friday? Boyd Tinsley announced that he was taking a break from the band. That to me was so upsetting, and it upset the whole Dave Matthews community. It's still being talked about. So crazy. He's been with the band for pretty much their whole existence. He's considered one of the founding members of the band. He joined about a year after the band truly formed. So he joined in 92, and the band formed in 91. I just don't know what to expect from the shows this summer. Like, the whole band took last year off, which was sad enough as it was, and now Boyd's not going to be there. He's the violinist, and it's going to be a huge void. Dave played the night before Super Bowl, and it was called The Night Before, I think the show was called, out in Minneapolis. And Boyd wasn't there. And some of the fan favorites where Boyd was a huge part of the songs, it just didn't sound right at all. But the band is still amazing. We're still going to have a great time at the shows this summer. I'm just sad that he's not going to be playing his really memorable parts. I did have the opportunity to meet Boyd last winter. I want to say it was February of last year. February? Yeah, I think it was February. It was during a snowstorm. And he's an awesome guy. He gives the best hugs. He's an incredible performer. He was doing a sideshow with his other band called Crystal Garden, and I would have never known he could sing the way he does, but he does sing well on top of playing the violin. I'm just super disappointed that he's not touring with the band this year. He cited health reasons and being with his family, which we can all understand. It's been like 27 years or something that the band's been around. So, I mean, I guess after touring that long and being away from home and traveling all over the country and all over the world, you know, you probably miss a lot of very important moments with your children and your family and friends and everybody that's close to you, so I can understand that, but it's just not going to be the same. If you're watching Boyd, it's not going to be the same. Please come back next year. We all miss you.